Hey guys, this is Mr. I once again. I know you're like, oh, Mr. I again, but yes, it's me, indeed. Now, we're on the last example of section 3.3, or not example, but examples. But you'll see how this works. Like I said, you can follow along with the book. So follow me this way and you will see what we have. We have example 6, section 3.3. You guys can follow along if you would like. Now, it says, use the properties of logarithms, which we've been working with a lot, to condense. Oh, it says condense means big and make it smaller. To condense each logarithm or logarithmic, yeah, we can fix that later. Expression, sorry about that. So here we go with example A. Hey, that's what happens when you're here on a hot Friday night. Sweating right now, all because of you guys. So here we go, trying to help you guys out here. So we're going to go ahead now and take our properties that we discussed before, that we've used already several times, and go backwards now, right? We have, notice a plus, a 1/2 in front over here. So we're going to, and then the 3 right here. So we're going to take all this now, and we're going to make it shrink. Okay, so here we go. First of all, you will notice that there is a number, which is 1/2, in front of your log. And if you recall from which rule, do you guys remember that rule when you throw the number in front of your log? That is right, it's the power rule, right? Now, or the power property, not power rule, actually that's something else. So, the power property. So remember, this 1/2 actually goes over here. And Mr. 3 over here actually goes where? Yep, you throw him over here, correct? That is right. Now, so let's go ahead and write that, and then we can finish it all up. So we end up with log base 10 of x. But remember, Mr. 1/2 goes over here, plus the 3, right? Very good. So we get log base 10 of x plus 1 to the 3rd. And now, yeah, it got a little bit smaller, but not that much, right? I mean, look at this, right? We could still make it actually a lot more or a lot smaller. So notice that this plus. Well, if you remember, our rule for that was the product rule. The product rule, which means we multiply, right? Remember, if you're multiplying, then you can add them, right? Well, now we're adding, so we're going to multiply them. So we're going to take this, and we're actually going to shrink them or put them together as a multiplication. So we end up with log base 10 of, both of them have the same one, so we're cool there. It's going to be x to the 1/2 times x plus 1 to the 3rd. But, are we done yet? No, because 1/2 power actually means what? What does the 1/2 power mean? You guys remember? What was it? Yes, you're right. This is the same as taking the square root. So our final answer is actually going to be log 10 of, let's see, I'll put everything in parentheses, square root of x times x plus 1 to the 3rd power. Oh well, put another parenthesis there. And there's example A. So now, if you follow me over here, we're going to do another one. Now with natural logs. But as you all remember that whether it's logs or natural logs, they follow the same properties, so it's all good. So here we go. Now notice here we have a minus in between them. And remember that the quotient rule is the one where if they're divided, you can split them up into subtraction. But now since it's subtraction, we're actually going to turn them into that's right, a division or a fraction, right? Not only that, but notice there's a 2 over here in the front. So this 2 right here is actually going to go where? Exactly, right on there, as our exponent for the x plus 2. So let's go ahead and put it all together and see what we come up with. Let's see. So here we go. We're going to get the natural log of x plus 2. Notice that this guy now goes over here, minus the natural log of x. And now all we need to do is one more step and we can finish it. They're being subtracted, therefore we can just turn them into a fraction, or the quotient property, right? So we get the natural log of x plus 2 squared all over this guy right here, which is x. And that is basically going backwards on our quotient property. And guess what? We have one last one. So we go over here, And notice this big crazy monster of an ugly thing right here. But don't fear, because you guys have all the tools that you need to get this done. So let's go through this and see what happens. All right. Whoa, notice there's this guy over here, the 1/3, that is being multiplied. You see these brackets? It means it's multiplying everything by 1/3. Which means that this 1/3 must be what? What must this 1/3 be of this whole expression right here? That's right. That 1/3 is actually an exponent. And then from what we've done before, this 1/3 is not only an exponent, it's actually taking the what of this whole thing right here. That's right. Taking the cube root of the whole thing. So let's go ahead. Let's start condensing or shrinking this until we come up with a final expression and see what it looks like. So here we go. So I'm going to leave this guy alone for now. I'm going to work in parentheses first, or the brackets, which is kind of like a parentheses, or it is a parentheses, right? And then we'll do this guy at the end and see what we come up with. So here we go. So we end up with 1/3 log base 2. Notice that they're both base 2. They're being added. Therefore, we're going to turn it into a multiplication. Log base 2 of x times x minus 4. Oh, and we close our parentheses. There we go. Everybody with me, right? All we did is, since they're adding, we could turn them into multiplication, right? By using our product property. Okay, now let's worry about this guy. This guy, remember, was our exponent. So let's go ahead and put him as an exponent. So we end up with log base 2 of x times x minus 4. And this is to the 1/3 power. But remember, be very careful here. This exponent, notice, is outside these brackets, which means it's a power of the whole thing. So we got to make sure we put some brackets or parentheses or something there to indicate that this is the exponent of everything. If there were no brackets there, what would it mean? What would be different about it? That's right. What would be different is that this 1/3 would only be an exponent for this one, and it's not the same thing. Okay? So now let's go ahead and finishing up, because we know that 1/3 or 1/3 power is actually what in disguise? That's right, the cube root. So let's go ahead and finish it up, and we'll be done with this one. So this is the cube root, right? The cube root, 1/3 as an exponent means this. So we end up with x times the quantity x minus 4. And be very careful, the cube root must be over everything. Because remember that the 1/3 is an exponent to the whole expression, which was being multiplied up here by the whole thing. So you got to make sure you include that this way. And that, my friends, is how you apply this. And have a good, well, never mind. Have a good day, guys. Bye.